Blackpool Pleasure Beach is an amusement park situated along the Fylde coast in Blackpool, Lancashire, England. The park was founded in 1896 and has been owned and operated by the Thompson family since its inception. It is one of the most visited tourist attractions in the United Kingdom, and one of the top 20 most visited amusement parks in the world, with a peak estimate of 5.5 million visitors in 2007. In 2014 it was voted as the best theme park in the United Kingdom and the 9th best park in Europe by the Traveller's Choice Awards. The park is host to many records, including the largest number of roller coasters of any park in the United Kingdom, with 10, of which 4 are wooden. The Big Dipper, Blue Flyer, Grand National and Nickelodeon Streak. Many of the roller coasters in the park are record-breaking attractions. When it opened in 1994, the Big One was the tallest and fastest roller coaster in Europe. It was also the steepest, with an incline angle of 65 degrees and one of the longest, measuring 5,497 feet, 1,675 meters. Currently, the ride holds the record as the tallest roller coaster in the United Kingdom, standing at 213 feet, 65 meters, with a first drop of 205 feet, 62 meters. The park was the first in Europe to introduce a fully inverting steel coaster revolution and is the last remaining park in the world to still operate a steeplechase roller coaster. The Grand National is one of only 3 Mobius loop coasters in existence, where a singular track loops around itself, offering a facsimile out and back layout and creating a racing effect on 2 parallel tracks. Sir Hiram Maxim's Captive Flying Machine is the oldest amusement park ride in Europe, having opened in August 1904, at a cost of £15 million. Valhalla was until 2016 the biggest and most expensive indoor dark ride in the world. Designed by Sana and manufactured by Intamin, Valhalla won Best Water Ride at the 2017 Golden Ticket Awards, an accolade it has held over a consecutive number of years. The park also operates a Nickelodeon Land and the world's only Wallace and Gromit ride, the Thrill-O-Matic. The latest record is taken by the Red Arrow Sky Force, a Gerstlauer Skyfly thrill ride which is the first ride of its kind in the United Kingdom. In spring 2018, the park will open Icon, a £16.25 million double-launch coaster manufactured by Mack Rides in Germany. Icon is cited as being the largest ever single investment at the park. History of the Pleasure Beach. Early years, 1896 to 1930. Pleasure Beach was founded in 1896 by Alderman William George Bean after he failed in his attempt to become an advertising man on New York's Madison Avenue. He returned to the United Kingdom in 1897 and opened 2 separate amusement parks, one adjacent to Euston Road in Great Yarmouth and another in Blackpool, opposite the tram terminus. The Great Yarmouth Amusement Park failed to generate much interest and so Bean moved to Blackpool full-time towards the end of the century. In 1903, Bean, along with local businessman John Outhwaite, purchased 30 acres of land known as the Watson Estate, which was used to expand the amusement park in Blackpool. The original Pleasure Beach was built on the sand dunes along the promenade and consisted of a few roundabouts, a bicycle railway and several gypsy stalls. Bean and Outhwaite decided to grow the business after visiting Coney Island in the United States, using a small static fairground in London's Earl's Court for inspiration. Bean added more rides and sideshows to the Pleasure Beach, which began to garner the attention of holidaymakers. Bean's aim was to establish a fun park of relative size that would make adults feel like children again and inspire gaiety of a primarily innocent character. The first notable attraction of interest to open at Pleasure Beach was Sir Hiram Maxim's captive flying machine, a rotary swing ride designed by the British inventor of the same name in 1904. A mill-chute water ride followed in 1905, which opened under the name the River Caves of the World, both of which are still operational today. In 1907 the park opened its first wooden roller coaster, which was known as the Scenic Railway. It was during this time that the park began to trade under the name Blackpool Pleasure Beach. In 1909, Bean expanded the Pleasure Beach business by purchasing a second amusement park up the coast in Morecambe under the name West End Amusement Park, which later became known as Frontierland. Morecambe. The success of the Morecambe Park led to a third amusement park opening 4 years later in Southport under the name Pleasureland Southport. Meanwhile, the Pleasure Beach was developed with frequent large-scale investments including the Velvet Coaster, the House of Nonsense, the Joy Wheel and the Whip. Outhwaite died in 1911, leaving most of the remaining business to Bean. However, the Outhwaite family still obtained shares in the park and would occasionally have input into its growth. Following the First World War, investment at the park ceased due to the difficulty in exporting rides from the United States, and the next investments would not be until 1922 when the Virginia Reel and Noah's Ark opened. Despite the lack of investment, profits at the Pleasure Beach soared, and the company was noted as being one of the most prolific employers in the northwest of England. Further into the 1920s, Bean invested in the Casino Building, a triple-tiered Art Deco building designed by local architect and then Blackpool Mayor Alderman R. B. Mather, J.P. The exterior of the building featured a white ferro-concrete facade with white electric lighting, and the interior housed a billiard hall, cinema, restaurant and shop. Today the casino building is used as the main ticket center for guests. In 1923, land was reclaimed from Blackpool seafront, and it was during this period that the Pleasure Beach moved to its 42-acre, 170,000 square meters, current location along the promenade. The same year Bean brought in John Miller to design and build the Big Dipper, an out-and-back wooden coaster, and shortly afterwards a boating pool was built for boat rides. This was Bean's final investment before he died of pneumonia in 1929. Having spent 33 years shaping and developing what would become one of the most significant amusement parks in the world. Following his death, his only daughter Lillian Doris and son-in-law Leonard inherited the Pleasure Beach business. Lillian Doris Bean married Leonard Thompson, an Oxford natural sciences graduate and businessman, in 1928. The Thompsons lived in London, where Leonard worked at a Swedish match company. However, upon hearing of Bean's death, the couple returned to Blackpool, where decisions regarding the future running of the Pleasure Beach were in discussion. Leonard up until that point had not had any active involvement with the Pleasure Beach whatsoever. However, on a mutual agreement with his wife, it was agreed that Thompson would take over the running of the Pleasure Beach and have full responsibility of all its affairs. His first move was to appoint Oscar Howarth as the general manager and George Palmer as chairman of the company. Over the next 2 years, Thompson worked with the Outhwaites to expand the business further, starting with construction of the Ghost Train, which opened in 1930. Later years, 1931 present. In 1931, the remaining Outhwaite family sold their share of the park to the Thompsons, who now had complete control and ownership of the business. The following year, Watson Road was built underneath the park, which resulted in the closure of the Velvet Coaster. Thompson's next major investment was the construction of the Fun House in 1934 and the Grand National, a Mobius loop wooden coaster built by celebrated coaster designer Charles Page in 1935. Page had designed numerous other rides at the Pleasure Beach, including the roller coaster, another wooden coaster that was constructed on the site of the Velvet Coaster in 1933. The success of Page's wooden coasters resulted in a complete reprofiling of the Big Dipper in 1936, which was extended towards the southwesterly side of the park. During this time Thompson hired Joseph Emberton, an award-winning architect who was brought in to redesign the architectural style of the Pleasure Beach rides and buildings, working on the casino building, Noah's Ark and the Ice Drome, a 2,000-seat ice rink. Emberton continued to design for the Pleasure Beach up to his death in 1956, after which Jack Ratcliffe, who had been involved in the Festival of Britain, was brought in to continue the work. Ratcliffe worked for many years at the park and much of his work can still be seen today. Investments steadily decreased during the Second World War. However, the park remained open throughout the year to offer solace to the British public. The park returned to prominence between 1958 to 1961 when the Wild Mouse, Derby Racer and Alice ride opened, and over the next few years the scale of investments increased, with the world's longest log flume opening in 1967 and the gold mine opening 4 years later. The Walt Disney Company visited the park earlier in the decade, and Pleasure Beach was one of a few parks which became the basis for the first Disneyland park in Anaheim, California. Walt Disney formed a friendship with Thompson, and the two would regularly inspire one another when developing their respective parks. After many successful years as the managing director of the Pleasure Beach, Leonard Thompson died in 1976, having run the business for 47 years. Following Thompson's death, Doris Thompson was appointed chairman of the business. Their only son, Jeffrey Thompson, inherited his father's role and became the new managing director. William Jeffrey Thompson was born in Manchester in 1936. He spent most of his early working life administering the New Era laundries in London before returning to the family business as head of catering at the casino building. He married his wife, Barbara Thompson, née Foxcroft, in 1962, and shortly afterwards they had 3 children, Amanda, Nicholas and Fiona. Jeffrey invested millions of pounds developing the business, carrying forward his father's legacy, which was for the Pleasure Beach to always be at the forefront of global amusement parks. He hired Keith Ingham to make extensive alterations to the casino building, which was relaunched as the Wonderful World building. Since then the building has reverted to its original name. Thompson's reign saw the opening of the Steeplechase, Avalanche, Revolution and Ice Blast, the ride. His most notable investments include the Big One, which opened in 1994 and was the tallest and fastest roller coaster in the world at the time, and Valhalla, which opened in 2000 and remains the company's largest investment to date. Jeffrey was actively involved in promoting tourism in the northwest of England. He sat on almost all the relevant agencies, including the English Tourist Board and the British Association of Leisure Parks, Piers and Attractions, and was awarded the Order of the British Empire status along with his mother for their contribution to tourism. In 1986, Blackpool Pleasure Beach Limited became one of the first companies in the United Kingdom to register with a government profit-related pay unit. Under this scheme, the company agreed that, where profits exceeded £1 million, 10% would be distributed among the permanent staff according to the length of service. Despite his reputation as a leading businessman in the industry, Thompson often found himself in dispute with Blackpool Council over their decision to allow private traders to operate on land opposite the pleasure beach. He also clashed with Morecambe Town Council, who would regularly oppose and disrupt his plans to develop the Morecambe Amusement Park. As a result of his frustration and due to declining attendance, Thompson closed Frontierland in 2000 indefinitely, which had operated for 91 years. Many of the rides were either destroyed, sold or moved to Thompson's other parks. Further investments followed at the Pleasure Beach, including Spin Doctor in 2002, the Big Blue Hotel in 2003 and Bling, a zero-star-shaped thrill ride the following year. Jeffrey Thompson died of a heart attack at Blackpool Pleasure Beach on 12 June 2004 while attending a party to celebrate his daughter's wedding. Doris Thompson, MBE died 9 days later, on 23 June, the date of her son's funeral. Amanda Thompson, Jeffrey's eldest daughter and a director of the park for over 15 years, took over the whole Pleasure Beach business. Nicholas Thompson became the deputy managing director and Fiona Gill-J. née Thompson, a fundamental architect, became a senior company director. Amanda had previously risen to prominence as the founder and president of Stageworks Worldwide Productions, which produce numerous high-profile shows at both the Pleasure Beach and across the world. Like her father and grandmother, Amanda was appointed an OBE for her contribution to tourism. During Amanda's reign, the park has seen vast redevelopment, including the introduction of mass branding, as well as the removal of numerous rides including the Whip, Space Invader 2, Turtle Chase, Spin Doctor, Trauma Towers, Noah's Ark, Black Hole, Bling and Super Bowl. In 2005, the family decided to close Pleasureland Southport, which despite extensive investment and development had not turned a profit for several years. This move coincided with the closure of Pleasure Beach's log flume Drench Falls and resulted in the introduction of Infusion, the park's first new roller coaster in 13 years. Infusion was relocated from Pleasureland, where it had operated under the name of Traumatizer since 1999, and was built on the site of the log flume. In 2011, the Thompson family signed a contract with Viacom, owners of the American-based Nickelodeon brand, to open Nickelodeon Land, a 12-acre theme park situated within the main park. Nickelodeon Land was a £10 million redevelopment of the park's previous children's area Beaver Creek, which closed in 2010. Notable changes include a complete re-theme of the roller coaster, which reopened under the new alias Nickelodeon Streak, and the use of the formerly defunct Space Invader 2 building, which is now occupied by a large pizza restaurant. Many of the other rides were either replaced or repainted and renamed to represent the Nickelodeon brand. In 2013, the park worked alongside Aardman Animations, owners of the Wallace and Gromit and Shaun the Sheep brands, who introduced Wallace and Gromit's Thrill-O-Matic, a dark ride which replaced the Gold Mine. And in 2015 the park teamed up with the RAF to open the Red Arrow's Skyforce, a thrill ride based on the famous Air Acrobatic team. In early December 2015 the Tom Sawyer Bridge was removed and replaced with a new walkway. Managing Directors. Current park. Pleasure Beach is situated on a 42-acre, 170,000 square meters site along the South Promenade, Ocean Boulevard area of Blackpool, approximately 2.2 miles from Blackpool North Railway Station. It is bordered by the Promenade, Balmoral Road, Bond Street, Burlington Road West and Clifton Drive, and is situated above Watson Road, which is underneath the grounds and runs under the centre of the park. The main ticket center can be found on the ground floor of the casino building, which is situated to the north of the park. The rest of the ground floor space is taken up by a show bar named the Horseshoe and a large Costa Coffee Cafe. The second tier of the building, known as the penthouse floor, is home to a function suite named the Paradise Room and the White Tower Restaurant, a luxury restaurant overlooking the promenade. Above the Paradise Room is a second Moroccan-themed function room named the Attic. The basement area of the building is taken up by another licensed bar named the Horror Bar and an interactive horror maze named Pasillo del Terror. Outside the casino building towards the left of the main entrance is a second theater named the Globe. The main park can be accessed via a number of turnstiles, each manned by a security ambassador at the north entrance. A separate entrance towards the south end of the park is available for hotel residents only, and a third entrance is situated towards the east side of the park via the arena. The park is heavily secured by giant metal gates. However, these gates are occasionally open to permit large groups of guests into the park during the peak season. The park has 5 car parks and a coach park. Blackpool Pleasure Beach railway station and the Big Blue Hotel are towards the south end of the park. The park is split up into 3 sections: North Park, Nickelodeon Land and South Park. The main park is divided by separate themed areas. These are North Entrance Plaza, Heidi Strasse, Bean Street FY4, the Watson Overpass, the Tom Sawyer Bridge and South Entrance Plaza. Many of the rides in the park are built over or under other attractions and buildings, making the Pleasure Beach the most densely populated amusement park in terms of ride space in the world. Pleasure Beach is the only private company in the United Kingdom not imposed by planning restrictions. However, attractions over 60 meters in height must meet strict regulations set out by the Civil Aviation Authority. These regulations include the placing of red and white lights at the top of structures and warning signals and beacons to alert airline traffic. As of October 2014, Blackpool Airport has ceased operation. However, all rides at the Pleasure Beach over the 200 feet height marker still retain their beacons. Awards and accolades. 2007. Best Brand for Leisure and Tourism, Northwest Top 100 Brands. 2007. Pleasure Beach Training Team. Best Practice in Tourism Training, Let's Awards. 2007. 5th Best Amusement Park in the World, Golden Ticket Awards. 2007. Best Seaside Park Award, Golden Ticket Awards. 2007. Best Radio Commercial, IAAPA Brass Ring Awards. 2007. Pleasure Beach Website, Distinguished Excellence, IAAPA Brass Ring Awards. 2007. Valhalla, Second Best Water Ride in the World, Golden Ticket Awards. 2007. Best Northwest Brand for Leisure and Tourism, Hill Dickinson. 2007. Revitalized Brand of the Year, Leisure Report Awards. 2008. Northwest Brand for Leisure and Tourism, Hill Dickinson. 2008. Ripley's Believe It or Not, Franchise of the Year and Guest Service Award, Ripley's Executive Board. 2009. Forbidden, Best Overall Production, IAAPA Big E Awards. 2009. Hot Ice, Best Overall Production, IAAPA Big E Awards. 2011. Top 10 Best Theme Parks, Golden Ticket Awards. 2011. Big Blue Hotel, Lou of the Year Award. 2013. Best Attraction for Groups, Lancashire Tourism Awards. 2014. Best Large Tourist Attraction, Northwest in Bloom. 2014. Arena Favorite Ring, LAMBCO. 2014. Second Best Seaside Park Golden Ticket Awards 2014. Valhalla. Second Best Water Ride in the World Golden Ticket Awards 2014. Best Theme Park in the United Kingdom. Ninth Best Theme Park in Europe Traveller's Choice Awards 2014. Big Blue Hotel Third Best Hotel in the United Kingdom Traveller's Choice Awards 2016. Valhalla. Best Water Ride in the World Golden Ticket Awards 2016. Sixth Best Amusement Park in the World Golden Ticket Awards 2016. Second Best Seaside Park in the World Golden Ticket Awards. Rides. Roller coasters. Thrill rides. Water rides. Family rides. Nickelodeon land rides. Past rides. Past rides and attractions. Incidents. There have been several incidents at the park over the years. These incidents include a minor collision between two trains on the Big One roller coaster and a similar collision on the Avalanche bobsled coaster where passengers suffered only minor bruising, whiplash, cuts and one broken nose. On the 21st of July 2000, 11-year-old Christopher Sharratt died after falling from a ride vehicle on the Space Invader roller coaster. He was reported to have possibly panicked on the dark ride and unfastened his seatbelt. Following an investigation, police were confident that the death was accidental. The ride closed in 2008 and has since relocated to Breen Leisure Park, operating from 2011 as Astro Storm. On the 31st of August 2000, 23 people were injured when two ride carriages collided on the Big One due to a failure with the ride's braking system. 21 were taken to hospital. On the 11th of August 2009, two trains on the Big Dipper carrying a total of 32 guests collided, resulting in 21 people requiring treatment for injuries ranging from whiplash and broken noses to cut and bruises. On the 14th of June 2011, a ride carriage on the Big One stopped abruptly, causing a few minor injuries to the occupants. One person was reportedly taken to hospital suffering with whiplash. On the 24th of October 2014, 58-year-old Robert Sycamore accompanied his 13-year-old nephew on the Grand National Coaster. When the ride returned to the station, Mr. Sycamore was found in the bottom of the carriage with neck and back injuries. It's understood he had an underlying back complaint of spondylitis. Entertainment. Hot Ice. A seasonal show performed at the arena. Previously, the Ice Dome. The show has been running since 1936 and is produced by Amanda Thompson and choreographed by Ulla Jaaskelainen. The 2017 production, Dreams, runs from the 6th of July to the 9th of September. Craig Christian Evolution of Magic. A seasonal show performed by magician and illusionists Craig Christian and Elizabeth West at the Horseshoe from the 11th of July to the 3rd of September 2017. Ken Webster. Mentalist Hypnotist. A seasonal adult comedy hypnotism show performed by veteran hypnotist Ken Webster. Webster's show at the Pleasure Beach is the longest-running comedy hypnotism show in the world, having played at the resort for over 25 years. Runs every Saturday from the 15th of April to the 4th of November 2017. Russ Brown's Carnival of Magic. A magic and variety show performed by award-winning children's magician Russell Brown. Runs from the 31st of March to the 16th of April. Then again from the 9th of September to the 5th of November 2017. Spectacular Dancing Water Show. A £500,000 musical water feature designed by Aquatique Show International, featuring 30 individual jets and a water cannon capable of shooting water up to 30 meters into the air. The jets are synchronized to dance to different styles of music and shows run every 30 minutes. Other attractions. Adventure Golf. a 12-hole course situated on the Pleasure Beach-owned Flagstaff Gardens. Opened 2008. Ripley's Believe It or Not, a museum of oddities built across 2 floors and based on Ripley's Believe It or Not. Situated along Ocean Boulevard. Haunted Crypt, a haunted house-type walk-through attraction. Pasillo del Terror, interactive horror maze, situated towards the north end of Ocean Boulevard, adjacent to the entrance to Pleasure Beach. Opened in June 1998. Arena, a large ice rink situated towards the east of the park. Home to hot ice and open year-round. Sandcastle Water Park. Although not officially part of Pleasure Beach, it is situated opposite. Opened in June 1986. Accommodation, a family hotel, the Big Blue Hotel, with a 4-star AA rating. Situated adjacent to Blackpool Pleasure Beach railway station towards the south end of Ocean Boulevard. Opened in spring 2003. In January 2018, Blackpool Pleasure Beach submitted a planning application for a second hotel and conference center, as well as a new restaurant. Ghosts. Pleasure Beach is alleged to be haunted by several ghosts, and over the years there have been a number of high-profile paranormal investigations held within its grounds. The most well-known and reported ghost story involves the ghost train ride, which is supposedly haunted by the spirit of a former ride operator named Cloggy. Other stories involve poltergeist activity in both the gift shop under Sir Hiram Maxim's captive flying machine and the Star Pub on Ocean Boulevard. The arena is also said to be the home of a ghostly presence which inhabits the backstage dressing rooms and tractor bay. The park has featured on many paranormal-related TV shows, including Most Haunted and Great British Ghosts, and features in many books written on the subject. In popular culture, in 1997 the Pleasure Beach was the subject of a 6-part fly-on-the-wall BBC documentary which focused on the daily operation of the park. Each episode featured interviews with park management and dealt with the numerous triumphs and hurdles of running the park. The big one is featured in the film The Parole Officer, 2001, and in one episode of A Touch of Frost. The music video for Simply Red's song, Fairground, as was the video for The Killers' Here With Me, and 5 Seconds of Summer's Try Hard music video, were shot here. The Infusion roller coaster featured in the 2009 Specsavers advertising campaign. In 2002, Most Haunted conducted an investigation at the Pleasure Beach. The Laughing Man was briefly portrayed as a psychotic French clown in Jamie H. Scrutton's His Haunted Laughter short film in 2010. The artist performed in the role of the character. The park was included in the drama Waterloo Road. Finn Sharkey, Jack McMullen, Lauren Andrews, Darcy Isa, Sambuca Kelly, Holly Kenny, and Tom Clarkson. Jason Dunn. Visit the park. Popular ITV soap opera Coronation Street has filmed at the park many times over the years. In 1988, the children's television program Blue Peter visited the park. Presenters Mark Curry and Yvette Fielding rode the then newly launched Avalanche coaster and interviewed Doris and Jeffrey Thompson. Professional wrestler Darren Kenneth Matthews, most commonly known as William Regal, began his wrestling career at the park at age 15. Parts of the Harry Hill movie was filmed at Pleasure Beach. An advertising campaign for IRN Brew featuring a group of goths riding the Revolution roller coaster, then sponsored by the brand, was filmed at the park. British boy band JLS rode on the Big Dipper in early 2012, singing the hit "Everybody in Love" as they did so. Their ride was filmed and posted online via their official Facebook page. Kevin Bacon rode the Big One with a young child to advertise E4G. The advertisement was then aired on national television in May 2014. The Ghost Train features in Tim Burton's 2016 film Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. The One Show filmed at the park in 2016 and gave a demonstration on ride dynamics, including how the compact shape of a vertical loop on the Revolution has to be a certain diameter to make the ride safe, and measurements of the G-force pressure accumulated on the Ice Blast ride. In November 2016, BBC's Strictly Come Dancing featured a segment where contestant Judge Rinder visited the Pleasure Beach and rode the Ice Blast ride. Gallery. See also: Pleasureland Southport, Frontierland, Morecambe, Monorail. A monorail at Expo 67 that shares track and rolling stock with Blackpool, both acquired from the 1964 Swiss National Exhibition. Wallace and Gromit. Nickelodeon. Alton Towers. Further reading: Walton, John K. 2007. Riding on Rainbows. Blackpool Pleasure Beach and its place in British popular culture. St. Albans. Skelter Publishing. ISBN 0-954457366. Official website.